everyone, and welcome to my very first tag video. This video tag is products that have stood the test of time in my life. They are products that I have used for years and years, and they are items that I always seem to go back to. And I saw this first done on Stephanie Marie's channel, who of course you guys, a lot of you are already subscribed to her. She's a good friend of mine, and she did this tag about a week or so ago. I discovered the tag on another YouTuber who I had actually never watched before, named Jessica Braun. So I will link both of their videos down below if you're interested in seeing what their products that have stood the test of time are. Now, I got so excited when I saw her do this video because I thought, oh gosh, you know, that's such a great idea. I have so many products to share with people. But then I kind of hesitated because, as a lot of you know, over the summer, I made the decision to try to go into a cruelty-free direction. And I have really struggled with that. As someone who has been in the beauty industry for 20 plus years and has been consistently buying MAC and Estee Lauder and Armani, I even worked for Armani for a few years. And as somebody who is so passionate about makeup and is so drawn to Chanel and YSL, it's been really difficult for me, the kind of push-pull of trying to do what I know in my heart is for the best, but then, you know, the makeup addict part of me, and just, I'm so used to buying these brands, so it's been hard. So I thought to myself, you know, I'm still gonna do the video, and I'm gonna be truthful. I'm gonna show you the products that have stood the test of time for me, that I do keep going back to, because my thought is that maybe some of you who have made the decision also to go cruelty-free, maybe you can give me some options to, you know, for replacements that I can look into, because, you know, I found replacements for things here and there, but these products I'm really still kind of struggling with, most of them. So yeah, I'm definitely open to your suggestions and to trying new things, but for today's video purposes, let's get to the products that have stood the test of time for me. The first product is MAC Blot Powder. This is something that I cannot seem to find a replacement for. I have probably at any given time 5 of these in my house. There's one in my purse, there's one in my vanity, there's usually one in my car, there's one in my kitchen. I have been purchasing this product for a good 15 years, maybe more. I use the shade medium dark because they run very light. I'll show you what it looks like. And I have such oily skin that I usually have to blot about every 2 hours. Yes, I will sometimes use blotting papers, but I really feel like this has always been the best in just taking away the shine without building up any product and without flashback, and it just never interrupts with the makeup, the liquid makeup that I have on underneath. And I honestly panic if I'm out for the night and I don't have this. Like, where's my blot powder? Where's my blot powder? And I've tried other powders, but just nothing seems to be the same. So this has been a real struggle for me in finding a replacement, because I have used this for so long and have been in love with it for so long. So please help me find something that is just as good. Now, next up is something that Stephanie showed in her video too. She and I have a lot of similar favorites because we're around the same age and we have similar skin types. I'm a little bit more oily, she's a little bit more combo, but she talked about Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I too have been using this product for maybe 20 years. Again, as somebody with really oily skin, this was a lifesaver for me. It was a game changer when it first came out. I like the coverage of it. I like the obviously the long wear of it. And I have been talking recently a lot, I know, about the Jouer Essential High Coverage, and I did say in one of my most recent videos that it has been a replacement for Estee Lauder Double Wear for me, because whenever I want that flawless long wearing look, full coverage, that's what I'm gonna reach for. So I feel like I found a replacement for this. Now, what I did notice, because I did decide to use this just one more time to just check and see the difference between this one and the Jouer, and believe it or not, in my opinion, the Jouer has even more coverage. So if you find that this is too much coverage, then you will definitely not like that one. But so yeah, for me it's a replacement. It might not be a replacement for everyone. I can see how that, you know, it might not be, but this really is and always will be a workhorse foundation, and it's been tough to set these aside. It's also been tough to set aside another Estee Lauder product, which is the Advanced Night Repair. Now, I don't know what's in this Synchronized Recovery Complex, but whatever it is, it works well. My skin really likes it. And again, 20 plus years, even before I had these signs of aging coming through, I just feel like whenever my skin doesn't look well, I mean, I try a lot of new skincare companies are sending me stuff. I'm trying different things, but whenever I feel like my skin just isn't happy, like it's just looking dull, it's like pores are looking bigger, I feel like the more of those fine lines are showing up, I use this, and the next morning I feel like my skin just looks better. And it's soft, it doesn't break, my skin feels soft, it doesn't break me out, I don't know. I really need somebody to tell me, to suggest another serum that would be as good as this one. Now this is another oldie but goodie, the Urban Decay Original Naked Palette. I'm sure we have all seen this before. It came out 8-9 years ago. This is probably my second one. My first one that I had it for a couple years, and then I think I misplaced it. And then I have one that's in my freelance kit because I always have to have it in my freelance kit. I don't freelance much anymore, hardly at all, but it's something that whenever I do somebody's makeup, I always feel like I have to have it at least in the mix. And then for myself, I just love that you can do a warm look with this, you can do a cool look with this. It's a classic. I mean, it has the half-baked shade in here is amazing. I use Naked or Buck a lot for just a transition color, even if I'm using a different palette for the rest of the look or singles. This is just such a nice palette. And I know some of you have been asking me if I am gonna continue with that series where I was using older palettes and tutorials, and yes, I am, I promise you. I do get a little sidetracked with making other videos that are requested or content that I just want to get out there, but I will get back to doing those videos, I promise. But this is something that is just, you know, it's a no-brainer for me. If I don't know what I want to do someday, or if I'm doing somebody else's makeup, I know that this will create whatever look I have in my mind. Now moving on to blush, I haven't used this product, you know, as long as I've used the others, but Milani Luminoso has been my go-to for a long time. Whenever I'm deciding what blushes I'm gonna pack, like for a trip, like even I'm leaving on Tuesday to go away for Thanksgiving, and I always just toss it in my bag because I know that just like with the Urban Decay Naked palette, no matter what look I'm doing, this blush is pretty much gonna work. And I know some people say it's a dupe for NARS Orgasm, and for me it sort of is because it gives me like the same look on my cheeks. It's like just that perfect peachy pink. These are really long wearing, obviously much more affordable than a NARS blush. So yeah, this one is great. You really need to have this one in your collection. Next up is Monica Dar's C2 powder. This is my second or third one, and obviously I have hit pan on it. I discovered this on Crispy's channel. If you haven't heard of her, she's a huge YouTuber, and she would use this as an under eye concealer. That's how I discovered it. I saw her use it in a video a couple years ago as an under eye concealer. Well, for me, it doesn't work. It's not enough coverage for a concealer, but it makes a great under eye setting powder and brightener. It really brightens up my under eye area, and gives it a little extra, you know, coverage, because obviously Crispy was using it as a straight up concealer. But I just love this. I am noticing that even between the time I started using it like 2 years ago and now, I've gotten more fine lines under the eyes, so it's looking a little bit more drawing. But I think if you have relatively smooth under eyes, or you're just showing those first fine lines of under there around the eye, then you could definitely use this. Great, as I said, concealer, setting powder, and brightener. You can use it anywhere on the face to brighten. Now the face powder that I have been using for years that will never not be in my kit and on my vanity is the Ben Nye Luxury Loose Powder. I use the banana around my face, and then I use the Cameo a lot when I'm more fair, and also sometimes to set underneath my eyes. It just depends. Sometimes I'll reach for the Monica Dar to set my under eyes. Sometimes I'll reach for the Ben Nye. But these have been in my freelance kit for the longest time. It's an affordable powder. It's great if you have oily skin. It really helps to absorb the oils. So yeah, I might have purchased the new Too Faced Peach Perfect powder and really like that. There might be some others that I'll try that I'll like, but I always just go back to and always recommend the Ben Nye Luxury powders. And then the final product that has really stood the test of time for me, and I will continue to buy until they stop making it, is the Sally Hansen Airbrush Legs Spray. As we get older, our legs unfortunately don't look as nice as they did when we were in our 20s or even in our 30s, especially the back of the knees. Something happens with those knees. So I'm not one to wear stockings or pantyhose or whatever they're called these days, because I haven't worn them in probably at least 10 years. So what I do instead when I'm wearing a dress, I don't use this if I'm just wearing shorts and just running errands, but if I have an event where I'm showing my legs, going out for date night, I will use this, and not on its own. I don't spray it directly on my legs. I will spray it into my hand with maybe either a little regular moisturizer or a shimmer cream, depending on the event. And then I will rub it on my legs, making sure to get the back of my knees really well, because you don't want it to look like opaque. You don't want your legs to look completely opaque, like they're full of makeup, but that's what using the moisturizer does. It kind of cuts down the opacity, makes it a little bit more sheer, and the shimmer powder just gives your skin some dimension. Once in a while, I will spray this onto a beauty blender and pat it on my chest, like if I've used a body bronzer with not a lot of coverage, but I want some coverage on this sun-damaged area, I will take a beauty sponge and just get some extra coverage and color with this. So this I cannot be without. I cannot travel without it, and I've used it, I don't even know how many years, again, probably since it came out. So that's pretty much it for the products that have stood the test of time for me. I've used Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil off and on for quite a few years too, and I will continue to use that and continue to purchase that, even though I do like the brow pencils from ColourPop that I've talked about. But Brow Wiz, I also get a pro discount for Anastasia, so I'll continue to buy that one. I've always used an eyeshadow primer, but there hasn't been one that I've kind of been consistent with. I like Too Faced Shadow Insurance, Max Prep and Prime 24 Hour. I used to swear by the NARS eyeshadow primer. So a primer itself is something that, you know, I will never be without. But as far as one specific brand, I kind of play around with that as I do a lot of other things. So really, the only things that I need some replacements for are the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair and the Blot Powder. Those are definitely products that I'm really struggling to find replacements. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. And any of you out there watching, if you decide to do this tag, please let me know. I would love to watch it and see what your picks are. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video, and I'm gonna leave links to Stephanie and Jessica's videos in the description bar. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. Everything is Risa Does Makeup, and I'll see you guys in my next video.